understand we are live.
We had 9 people when I first looked.
Oh, great. Well, we want to welcome you for the 90th anniversary celebration for Brookgreen. I'm here with Paige Kiniry, President and CEO. I'm here with our spokes dog. This is Angus. He is a descendant of the Scottish deerhounds that the Huntingtons bred, and were a very important part of their life. They used to bring them back and forth from their home in Connecticut when they had Brookgreen as a summer home. They purchased the 9,000 acres in 1930, and on this day in 1931, they formed a nonprofit organization to benefit society and celebrate the plants and animals and environment and art here in the Low Country. So we're just thrilled to be able to recognize that today. And we thought we'd just take a little walk in the garden. Let's head over to the Oak Alley. So Angus acts as our spokes dog. He it's a little hot today, so it's getting a little overheated, but he walks with volunteers to talk about the Huntingtons and their importance as founders of the organization, and also about their history. And Archer Huntington, of course, was a philanthropist, and I thought we'd just walk into Oak Alley.
And we're going to come back and see.
Yeah, sorry. Just because we can't miss seeing the caladiums, and this is such an important vista for the garden. Everyone have a chance to just see this beautiful center of the garden. So again, Archer Huntington, philanthropist who founded the garden. His wife, Anna, was a sculptor. And again, you can just imagine when they came to the garden and saw this incredible alley of oaks. Of course, it didn't look quite this beautiful, a little overgrown when they found it, and now planted with these beautiful caladiums. But these 250-year-old trees were really the part of the inspiration for them that this needed to be a place that was open to the public. So we are now celebrating the founding, and then throughout the year with several special events, we'll be celebrating throughout to when the spring 1932, Brookgreen became open to the public. So we think that is a perfect way to honor that founding and just to share this amazing institution with all of our supporters and guests and fans of Angus. So we're going to walk now over to the Diana Pool. And this was one of the sculptures that is recognized as a masterpiece of Anna Huntington, an early work. It came to Brookgreen from their home in New York. It was in their entryway, and they just, once they worked on the design, which Anna provided the landscape design for the garden in the shape of a butterfly. This was a real focal point, and just one of the most beautiful sculptures we have, Diana of the Chase, and is found several Dianas throughout the gardens. Many people who visit here are familiar with her Diana that is in the small sculpture court, which is the Brown Sculpture Court, but just an amazing representation of her work. Now we're going to come up on Hal Holmes, who's the chairman of our Board of Trustees. We found him here in the shade just to say hello.
Well, thank you very much. You're welcome. And so glad that you're visiting us. So
be quiet, Angus. So how long have you been involved with Brookgreen?
Well, you know, being from the area, I've always been aware of Brookgreen. Always came as a youth and on up to adulthood, and venerated it for what a wonderful place it was for our area and for the country as a whole, and enjoyed the things we had to offer. I think it was 1999 I was asked to be on the board, and have been engaged and thoroughly enjoyed it ever since. It's been a wonderful experience.
And this is Hal's first year as chairman of that board, and we're just thrilled about that. Our previous chairman, Dick Rosen from Myrtle Beach, still a lifetime trustee, still active with Brookgreen. But we've got just an amazing group. There are 25 trustees, and of course their focus is the long-term success of and the strategic direction of
Yes.
Brookgreen, and they do an incredible job and support the 500 volunteers and 150 staff members that make it function and run as an amazing organization that it is.
Indeed, it is. And each of the board members is deeply devoted to Brookgreen. All of them have had long-term engagement with it and appreciate it for all the wonderful things that it does and what it means.
Well, let's take a walk down to the Four Corners. You made some remarks today. We had a short staff meeting about our culture awards, and you were talking a little bit about the importance of what Brookgreen is in the community. And I just thought maybe that'd be something we could share with our visitors as well.
Well, it begins with such a beautiful landscape. 9,000 acres. It is so representative of the natural beauty and geography of our area. It encompasses all aspects from the river and its marshes and ancient rice fields to the ocean and the maritime forest. So it's important in that sense. Of course, it also is a repository of what we believe to be the greatest American figurative sculpture collection in existence, and certainly in an outdoor garden setting, which is only more beautiful. So I think that all those things are important, and we also enjoy very much the preservation of the natural environment, the flora and fauna of the area, the indigenous plants and the things that were important to colonial times and colonial cultures as far as animals and heritage breeds. We work with various organizations to preserve, and then to appreciate and understand and learn more about the culture. All aspects of it have been really inspiring, wonderful to be involved with. I think, I think you could truly say this is really a world-class institution.
Yes.
That greatly benefits our region, South Carolina, and the nation as well. It's a critical thing to be able to preserve and grow and increase its value.
Well, as a natural historic landmark, we're here forever. And part of being here in perpetuity is introducing new people to the garden. So we've got this event now for the summer through the middle of August that is, you'll see represented here, Summer Light Art by Night. And this is our team that brings you Nights of 1,000 Candles, has done this incredible installation that includes these lanterns here when illuminated are just spectacular. So if you're able to come and celebrate with us, we invite you on Wednesday through Saturday evenings. It begins at 7 p.m. Of course, it doesn't get dark, so you won't see it in complete darkness until about 9. But we're open until 10 p.m. And it's a really wonderful way in what we say the cool of the evening. I'm not sure that's always an accurate statement, but certainly in the Low Country, it is cooler. It's cooler than it is.
Summertime in the South, after all.
Yes, it is. And we have July 13th, probably one of the most humid days that we have had in some time here. So yes, Angus and we are going to need a little water break after this. Well, let's walk a little further. We'll introduce everybody to our Vice President of Horticulture, Katherine Rowe. Hi, Katherine.
Hi, good morning. Hello.
So
Hi,
one of the pillars of our 4 missions, which most people don't really think about, they know it's a sculpture garden, America's first sculpture garden. But as a botanical garden, horticulture is a really important part of who we are as an institution. We've got some new things. So I just thought you could talk a little bit about our plant collection, about some of the programs that we have going that are special right now.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for letting me be part of this. I wanted to take you all through the Arboretum to show you something new, and we can talk on the way. As you know, the Huntington's vision was really to establish this local flora and fauna of the Southeast. And so that's what we try to do and try to honor our commitment to that. And also honor contemporary horticulture. So that's really the beauty of our jobs working here every day, coming to this beautiful historic place that's a sanctuary for so many of us, but also getting to try innovative and fun things in the vision of the Huntingtons. So I wanted to take you out here. We will head to the Arboretum, where we thought to honor our 90th year, we would celebrate with some wildflowers.
So just a little definition of Arboretum.
Yes.
For those who are not familiar.
Our Arboretum, it was the original vision of the Huntingtons in the 30s to establish this. It's a park-like setting that highlights specific tree specimens. So we focus on native or southeastern region tree species, a lot of hardwoods, a lot of different oaks, but we also have special collections like our China fir, different items that were acquired in the early days of Brookgreen that were planted and established here. We have a staff arborist, Jamie Taylor, who is responsible for our tree care so that we keep a close eye on all of our special trees out here in our collection and within the gardens. So normally the Arboretum is a lot of turf because again, it is that park-like setting. It's a respite. It's different. It's in contrast to the walled sculpture garden. And so this year, the fun part is mixing it up a little bit, going a little wild after 90 years. Which I think is
Literally wild.
Yeah. Yes. So if you all just want to stroll a little bit, the reason that we opted to do this year is these meadow plant communities are being less and less common as development expands, and that's everywhere. That's in the world as development grows. But these environments provide such important habitat and food for pollinators and wildlife. So that's what we really wanted to showcase was the necessity of having these meadow plant communities. It's in collaboration with our Wild Bees exhibit. If anybody has been to the Noble Gallery, it's really stunning photography with meaning that shows the importance of pollinators to humans and to our ecosystems.
And so much of what you sell in the plant sales that we have twice a year
Yes.
are native plants. And having this demonstrated here is also a showcase for people to see how they might be able to convert their own lawns into this really productive kind of environment.
Absolutely. It has been a wonderful, beneficial turf alternative for us. It takes, a lot less water, less heavy gas-powered machinery. And it's really more visually interesting and in the garden to walk through. I mean, it is just buzzing with insects and birds and turkeys and all kinds of creatures that come to explore this setting. So it really is wonderful to actually see it in action. We have lots of pollinator plants, lots of native plants throughout the gardens. But this has just been a really fun way to showcase how collections like this can really improve an environment.
And just one more word as a horticulture plug about our conservation and research programs and some of the things that we're doing in our greenhouse.
Yes, that has become one of our main mission areas, and Carrie Rapp is our greenhouse manager, has really been spearheading these efforts. We work with Huntington Beach State Park on propagating sea beach amaranth, which is a federally endangered plant. So each year we've been growing plants in our greenhouse. Students go and plant the plants, and we're monitoring the sites over there for success, which has really been an enriching program. We also do an American chestnut project, which the Hoy family graces us with chestnut seedlings from the American Chestnut Foundation. And so we grow those that can be planted in our natural areas, trying to restore the American chestnut with really strong selections there. Great for wildlife, great food. Yeah, so wonderful, exciting initiatives going on in the greenhouse.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to head over to meet Robin Salmon, who's our Vice President for Art and Historical Resources, to talk a little bit about our history and art programs. The one program that's not represented is the zoo, although we think Angus is our animal ambassador. He does work in the zoo in addition to going on his strolls through the garden to talk about the Huntington's history. But we will go head this way. Thank you very much, Katherine.
Thank you.
So we're headed toward another Anna Huntington sculpture of Don Quixote. And this is such a unique medium. I think many people, until they come to Brookgreen, don't realize that sculpture can be in aluminum, but certainly one of her favorite mediums to use because of the way it captures light. And she was also able to incorporate a horse. So the Giant of the Chase that we looked at was unique as a sculpture that it had some animals, but not a horse, which she typically liked to include, especially in her early work, as her favorite subject. Walk around. And I hear thunder. So luckily, if we need to, we have our new Leonard Pavilion that we can escape to hide from the rain. This is a recent project that was funded by donors, and throughout the pandemic, it really provided a location for us to have meetings and events that would not have been able to occur. And we were able to stay open throughout the entire year, and the pandemic as a source of a respite and peace and solace for people, and a place to get some exercise. So that's really been a blessing for us to have that facility to be able to have programmatic continuation here. Here is Robin Salmon joining us with her golf cart. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Agnes. He says it's a little steamy for him today. I think for all of us. So too. And we may get rained out. So we did want to share a little bit about what's new in the collection. And of course, if you haven't been to Robin's 101 lectures or watched them on our YouTube channel, anything that you want to know about Brookgreen Gardens, you can learn from this woman who is a font of knowledge and our connection to our art community as well. Sculptors from around the country who really see this as the center for American figurative sculpture, and also a place that they love to come and teach and often donate art.
That's right. It's one of the joys of my job is getting to work with the sculptors, getting to know them through the years and seeing their growth, seeing them mature, both with their artwork, but with other things as well. Their awards, it's always exciting. And we are the beneficiary of that growth. We've just placed 6 pieces of sculpture that are very exciting. We're pleased to have 2 new pieces in the zoo, both by artists who have not been in our collection before, Andre Harvey and Diana Reuter Twining. And then we have another wonderful piece.
Goats and grasshopper,
Yes.
of really fun subjects for families that are visiting the zoo.
That's right. So we also have another wonderful sculpture by Scott, American Bison, and its title is actually American Icon. And we placed a sculpture that's been in the collection for a number of years, St. Christopher. It had been moved a few times, and now it's gracing the Arboretum near Time of the Fates Band by Paul Manship. And another piece by Tuck Langland, Resting Dancer, is along the walkway going toward the Rifle Gallery. And this is just the beginning. We have 14 more pieces in place immediately or as soon as we can.
Well, and I think people ask often, do we add pieces to the collection? Is this a static place that it's the Huntington's place, these sculptures here, and then we're just continuing to celebrate their genius, and they certainly were, but no, we don't often have this many to add, but we are constantly adding to the collection. And now with the Rosen Galleries,
now we've got the opportunity to have wonderful traveling exhibits, not that we didn't before. We've always had wonderful traveling exhibits, but even larger exhibits. And in some ways, very prestigious exhibits. So we're happy about that. The facilities are exquisite. It couldn't be nicer. And if you haven't been recently, you do need to come and see the new Rosen Galleries. They are phenomenal.
well, should we take a walk down to, I'm a little concerned about the weather, so maybe it would be better just to talk about sculpture that maybe we can see from here in case we have to take cover.
Well, two of the sculptures that we just placed are closer toward the road, you do see Glen Goodacre's water bearers. They've been there for a few years, and they're on long-term loan from the TIA collection in New Mexico. And this is another aspect of what Brookgreen offers. We do have loans from prestigious private collections to add to our own works that viewers can see. Just to the right, which I don't think you can see, it's behind the shrubbery, is another piece from the TIA collection, and that is White Buffalo's Vision by Toronto. And then,
I think part of the vision is we should probably go take cover.
Yes.
So encourage everyone to come and join us at Brookgreen, and appreciate you participating today. Happy anniversary.